Welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're new here, I'm Kathryn, the Aerogarden Homesteader, and today is a plant update. This is how the cherry tomato is doing. Got some new growth that is definitely making itself quite apparent. I have more ripe tomatoes, and I have more split tomatoes, and I'm not sure why that is happening. But yes, there's definitely more ripe tomatoes in here. We just don't go through tomatoes that quickly unless we're making salsa, and they're a little wet and juicy for making salsa with. I really need a appropriate tomato for an Aerogarden that doesn't get too big but has nice dry salsa tomatoes, really. That's what I need. So this is doing pretty good. Got a nice chunky stem down there. Try to get the leaves out of the way. There we go. So it is doing really well. I'm quite pleased with this. The deck has been holding up really well. I did go through and I fixed the print file so it now has a slightly bigger, so back here where the cord goes in for the pump, that was a little too tight. So I have gone back into the print file and I made that a bit bigger. So I need to print out another deck, just, you know, for testing purposes obviously, and give that a try and see if I got the size correct. And at that point I could probably try to find a way to sell printed decks, and so if anyone's interested, like, let me know. I'll try to find a way to, I don't know if I have to print those myself to sell them or if there's some way I can do that with a print service. I'm not 100% sure how that'll work, but I'll just keep looking into it. Over here we have the habanero that I can never remember the name of. Some of the flowers are just starting to open, so I need to make sure I come through and tap them. Hopefully these actually are habaneros. But it's looking really good down there. That's really nice and thick. It's also really compact and bushy. So it's putting out some really nice growth. So today was feeding day. The tomato got 20 ml. The pepper got 20 ml. So they should be well fed at this point. Hopefully I didn't overfeed them because the pepper's looking really good. I don't know that it needed 20 ml. I probably could have stuck with 15 a little bit longer. The tomato, I feel like it really did need the extra food because some of the leaves are starting to get a little on the crispy side. So some of those leaves have run their course. So I probably need to go through and prune them up and clean it out a little bit. But in the meantime, it's pushing out new growth, which I am pleased with. So I did increase the amount of food, and I will have to go through and give this a cleanup. But right now, it is now on more food. This is the other cherry tomato, and it also got fed. Basically everything got fed today, and I gave this one 15 ml. So it's dropped a few leaves. It's also got a dead one in here that also needs to be sort of fixed. But it's put out some new tomatoes here. It's still just, I mean, it's actually going above the light. It's putting out flowers. It's putting out nice growth. So it's doing well. It's just a lot more spread out. It's not as compact as the other one. So this one is very, very different, but it's doing really well. So this was all new growth last time. There's some more flower nodes in there, so that's really nice. So yeah, this one got 15 ml. It does have a small reservoir, but I think at this point, since it's gotten so big, it's carrying some tomatoes, it's starting to push out flowers. I think it can handle the 15 ml without getting burned. And finally, my jalapenos, or actually, I guess I planted some seeds from last year, and those were the ones from Jalapeno-gate, so I think these are actually like a Hungarian wax type pepper. I'm kind of hoping this other one is an actual jalapeno because I really would like some jalapenos, but we'll see. It does have a different growth pattern compared to this other one, so I'm kind of hopeful that it actually is a jalapeno. So it has some flowers that are open. I've been trying to go through and remember to sort of tap them. You know, when you tap them, you can actually see the pollen just drop from the flower. It's kind of cool and disturbing at the same time. So these ones have been doing pretty good. I increased the feed on this one up to 30 ml because I think it can handle it. It's got a lot of flowers and a lot of peppers it's starting to support. So it's doing well. And I am going in and I'm revising the print plan for this one. I remeasured the reservoir, and I'm going to try to get a better fit on it. So this one is getting some TLC. I'm trying to find a better way to attach the two pieces together. I might actually make it 3 pieces so it prints a little bit better, because I did find I had some print issues with this one. I think it was just because it was so big that, you know, the adhesion, if it's not perfect, you don't get a perfectly level print, and I think that was what was causing a lot of the sort of the rocking, where one side's a little higher than the other. It's just because it's not perfectly level. So Not 100% sure that was what the problem was, but I am going through, I'm sort of fixing things up and trying to get things to work a little bit better. So fingers crossed that I can get this to work. I'm going to have to, you know, sort of make a whole bunch more test prints and print things out again and find ways to, you know, it's going to take some time. I'm also looking into a way to make one for the farm. I don't know if I should put the bounty on hold and fast track the farm, because like I have a bounty. It's kind of working. I can go back and fix it later, but you know, if I can get a sort of a alpha print, you know, 1.0 for a farm, then I can start putting stuff in it and sort of test it out and see how it works. That's kind of what I'm leaning towards, but at the same time I kind of want to finish up the bounty so that it's off my, you know, it's sort of mentally off my list. But yeah, sometimes it's fun to just jump to that nice new shiny thing on the horizon. So we'll see what calls my name stronger. I have been working on the bounty right now, so maybe if I put in a few more hours on it, I can sort of get it to a point where I could start looking at test printing it again, and then I can put it on hold while I go over and do the farm. I think I'm going to have to do that in 4 pieces. You know, I'm wondering if a dovetail joint would actually work well, or something similar for holding all 4 pieces together. I don't know. It's something I'm thinking about. I also don't know what the optimal hole placement would be, like how many. Hey, if you have ideas on that, let me know. I was kind of thinking of having one where it was one big hole in the middle, or having 2 holes on opposite corners, so 2 holes diagonally. I could possibly make it with 3 or 4 as well. I mean, it's something that once I have the deck template, like I could do almost anything with it. I could stick a hole just about anywhere I want. I don't think it should have more than 4. 4 would be like a reasonable number for something really small. You know, green beans, or, you know, green onions, I don't know, something small. 1 would be for something big. If you wanted to, I don't know, do cabbage or 1 big tomato, that would be awesome. And then 2 would be for maybe pepper plants or cherry tomatoes or something that's a bit smaller. I mean, I realize that I do have the really big farm, but you know, there are smaller farms, and so it might be optimal to have 4 holes in a smaller farm, and it might be optimal to have 1 hole in the big farm. So I will have options available for that, but right now, if I can at least get the template for the, you know, hey, it fits in the farm, then I can start working off of that template with, you know, options. Anyways, this is how the Aerogardens have been doing and how the sort of 3D printing has been going. It's slow. it was put on hold for a little while, but it's back up on the list of things to do, so I am starting to tackle that now, and hopefully I can start making some progress and have that out for anyone who wants to try it. I hope you found this video useful. Thank you so much for joining me. I will have some videos up at the end that you might enjoy, and I will see you next time on the Aerogarden Homestead.